everyone, and welcome back to the Chill Survival series. Today we're going to build a house for a villager so we can get an essential book we need for enchanting. And it looks like a fresh new day has begun, so let's get started. So the last thing that we built was our skeleton XP farm, and it's working really well. Now that we have this, I feel like we're far more prepared to gather up the last few diamonds we need so we can fully upgrade the rest of our tools. The only issue we have right now is that our diamond pick with fortune is starting to wear out a bit, and I'm worried it's going to break soon. So I figured the best thing for us to do today would be to bring back a villager to our base who will give us the mending book so we can keep our tools and armor in good condition. Sounds easy. What could go wrong? Alright, before we do that, I think it would be wise to build the house the villager's gonna live in first. Hopefully if we set things up beforehand, it will make this whole process a bit easier. Not that it's gonna be difficult or anything. Okay, so, since the mending book is an item related to our tools and armor, I wanted to build the villager's house close to our mining outpost because I feel like these things are closely related. So we have the area where we get our materials for the tools, and next door we have a villager who will provide us enchantments for them. And I'm just going to start things off by terraforming some of this area to flatten it off a bit more because it's a little too uneven at the moment. There, I think that should be more than enough space that we need to build this house. So now that that's done, we can move on to building this thing up. Now I want most of this build to be made of stone and deep slate, which we have lots of. And I would also like to include some oak and dark oak, but we ended up using most of what we had in the last build. So let's make ourselves another axe because we're gonna need a couple. And we'll grab our dark oak saplings and bone meal. And let's plant some trees so we can gather up some more wood for this build. I think that should be a good amount to start with. Alright, with pretty much all of our materials gathered, I think we're ready to begin building. So I'm gonna start by building a 7x10 rectangle made of stone, cobble, and andesite. Usually I try to avoid even numbers for build dimensions because it can really mess up the spacing of things. But the length of 10 blocks will allow me to evenly place the other parts I'm going to be adding to this build. There, that should be good. Next, I'm going to build an entryway at the front of the house. I'm going to build it off to the left to make space for a tower that's going to go beside it. Adding different heights to the build really helps give it a lot more of an interesting shape. I also built it one block shorter than the primary structure so the roof will sit a bit lower as well. And we're just going to build up a steep roof using dark oak planks. And I'm just going to do the same style of roof for the main footprint of the build. However, this one is going to end up much higher because the width of this build is wider than the entryway that we just built. That's a good thing though, because we want the central footprint to be the primary focus of the build. Alright, looking good. And now we just have to quickly patch in these gaps that we made when we placed our roofs down. So now that the frame is done, we can easily fill in the rest of the roof. And I'm gonna go with a deep slate brick and cobble roof because it matches the dark oak really nicely. You may have noticed that we're using a similar palette to our XP house, which is good because it's always nice to have palettes and patterns repeating around your base to help tie everything in together. And lastly, we just need to close off the top with a dark oak trim and it's all done. So here's the main structure done and I think it's looking great. The shape of the roof is kinda similar to our mining outpost and it also has the similar palette to our XP farm. But the other components of this build are so different that it feels like it complements our other builds rather than being too repetitive, which is exactly what I was trying to achieve with this. The only structural piece we have left to add is the tower beside our entryway. And I'm gonna make it out of oak planks and stripped oak so it stands out a little bit more amongst the darker blocks. Next, I'm gonna build the roof of the tower using stripped spruce wood. Oh no, you're back again? I thought I told you guys not to come back last time. This is so easy, they just keep hitting each other. Alright, we need some milk after that whole fiasco. Which is fine, because you know what, it's been a while since we checked up on our cows. Let's get you all some grub, and let's get some milk to cure this bad omen. Refreshing. Alright, back to our build. So the next thing we're gonna add to this tower is some trim to the sides and some other decorational items such as fencing and walls. And for the base of the tower, we'll add some more trim at the bottom and place a window higher up. Alright, I think this build is really starting to come together. And because the roof is so steep, it leaves a lot of extra room for us to add a few more details to really make this thing stand out. And the first thing I'm gonna add is a smaller tower that will complement our other one. Next, let's toss in a couple of chimneys. I'm gonna use bricks for them because they'll contrast nicely against the deep slate. The smoke and sound of campfires also just adds so much more life to a build as well. And finally, let's add an awning to our entrance with a window above it. And of course, we can't forget a door. And I think this is looking so good so far. And I think it even pops during this sunset too. It looks really cool. All right, let's head to bed for the night, and in the morning, we'll get started on the interior. All right, let's begin building this interior. And I should probably start by taking this wall down. The first thing we've got to do is get rid of this dirt floor. And let's just replace it with some dark oak planks. I'm just going to keep the ceiling simple by using spruce slabs to fill it in. Now I just remembered that if we want a mending villager, we're going to need a lectern, which means we're going to need some paper, and yeah, we're going to need some leather. Hi, friends. Yeah, I'm sorry. Also, sorry for eating this steak in front of you. I'm just really hungry. Sorry, and sorry. Okay, 13 leather should be enough. I'm pretty sure. We already have one bookshelf, so we actually have enough for a lectern, but I want to have more just in case. And I'd also like to have some bookshelves for decoration as well. All right, 5 should do the trick. And last but not least, let's make our lectern. I guess I lost track of time because I didn't even realize it was close to nighttime. I really need to do a better job of lighting this base up. There are so many creepers around here right now. Oh no. I think I'm just gonna dip from here so I can go to bed at my house. Ah! Oh, that one jump scared me. Okay, let's go home. Ruth, it's terrifying out there. Don't go out there. Wait a second. Maybe I should bring you with me because creepers don't like you. I think we're gonna do that. Let's go to bed first. All right, hopefully Ruth will just follow me. Ah, Ruth, hurry up, I need you. Oh, there you are. What? I thought they were supposed to be afraid of you. Oh, they are. It works. You're a repellent. You're my hero, Ruth. Oh no. Come on, get over here. Oh, look at you running away all scared. All right, Ruth, you're sticking by me for now. Okay, let's get to work on this interior. So let's start by putting a little work table in the center of the room. And we'll also add some more counters along the walls. Next, let's add a little storage unit to this wall with a stockpile next to it. We'll add some shelving so we can place some extra storage and decorative items. Then let's get some flowers and glowberries in here for some greenery. And lastly, I'm going to put up a small decorative divider made of oak trapdoors near the entrance. And I'm also going to put an awning here so the villager won't be able to use the door. Sounds awful, but it works. Alright, and here's our house for our mending villager. It's got lots of books for some light reading, some workstations, storage, nice greenery. It's cozy, so I think he'll like it. So now all we have to do is go find our villager and bring him back here. Nothing could go wrong, right? Alright, before we head out, I kind of forgot to give this villager some daylight. And I think that's pretty essential. There we go, that looks much less dungeony and much more cozy. Alright, Ruth, you've done a fantastic job keeping me safe, but I think we're good now. So let's bring you back home. And here's some fish because you did such a good job. So we did already find a savannah village a while back, but it's pretty far away. I think I want to test my luck and try to find a village that's a little bit closer to our base. That way, it would make villager things a lot easier for us if the travel isn't as far. I say we follow one of these rivers and see where it takes us. So I've been boating down this river for a bit, and I see the taiga forest that we kind of explored a while back. Those biomes often have villages in them, so I feel like we should get out of our boat and test our luck there. There's one right here. Oh, this one's so much closer than the savannah one that we found. This is perfect. All right, it is a bit smaller of a village and there are less villagers around, but it'll do for what we need right now, so that's fine. All right, so I'm gonna break some of these job blocks so we don't have a bunch of farmers hanging around. That way we can get our mending villager sorted here and bring him back as a librarian. And let's just give this bell a little tap to get them to run into their homes. That way I can easily keep one in there, and then we can easily roll for the mending trade. All right, looks like you're gonna be the lucky villager who's gonna be our librarian. Now let's begin the process of rolling for a specific trade. Listen, my guy, the sooner you give me mending, the sooner we can get out of here, okay? And after I told him all about the house he would be living in, he decided to give me mending. Nah, I'm joking. This was such a struggle and took forever. He literally didn't want to cooperate. But hey, we got our mending trade and now we're good to go. All right, buddy, let's get you in the boat and let's bring you to your new home. So we are going to also have to figure out trades to get emeralds so we can actually buy the mending book from this villager. But this village is close enough to us, so for now, I'm okay with traveling down this river to trade sticks with a Fletcher until we get something a little bit more substantial at our base. Alright, buddy, looks like we're home. Okay, I'm gonna break the boat, but no funny business, okay? Lectern here, and let's roll. Follow the knowledge. Yes, exactly. You know what? You've been one of the better villagers that I've had to deal with so far. This is kind of easy. Look at him go. I'm so proud of him. I think he's also just really into books, so that helps. Alright, homie, this is the last time, I swear. Will he make it? Yes! Let's go! You did it, buddy! Alright, let's pop a trapdoor here so he can't get out. And I think he's kind of loving it in here. So our mending villager is all safe and settled in his new home. And all we need to do now is get about 20 more emeralds so we can actually trade with him for a book. This villager will also trade paper for emeralds. But waiting for the sugarcane to grow might take a little bit of time. But that's okay. I figured that in between trading with the villager, we could start decorating and pathing the outside of his house. So let's start by connecting a dirt path to our mining outpost. And then we'll place some spots of spruce fencing just like we did with our other paths. And then we'll border it all with some coarse dirt to give it some more texture and help blend the path into the grass. The left side of the house is missing some decorations, so I think I'm going to keep it really simple by building a small garden coming off of it. Alright, let's pop down some gates with some granite walls so we can get that sort of wavy design with the gates. Then we'll pop down some small custom birch trees. And I think we need some tall flowers for this garden, but that's easy because we are in a flower forest after all. And I almost forgot to place a trim on this side of the house as well. This is the perfect spot to sneak some natural light in by hanging some glowberries in between the flowers. And finally, let's place some stone pebbles and smaller flowers in this garden. There, I think that's looking great. I'm just gonna add a little bit more pathing towards the garden so it's actually a walkable area. So now that the left side of the house is all detailed, I think we just need to add a little bit more greenery around the rest of it and then we'll be good. Taking a bit of extra time to add things in like shrubs, rock piles, and flowers really helps blend builds into the natural landscape. Let's also pop some walls along the path to act as posts for lanterns. When we terraformed the space earlier, we lost a lot of grass and greenery that I would like to add back because it's feeling pretty flat around the build still. I just had the idea that in between these trees, we could make a path that connects to the cave area we often adventure in, but also loop it back to our mining outpost as well. Having little side paths like this are not only useful in terms of travel, but I also find that they help make the overall base feel even more realistic and connected. Plus, this gives us the opportunity to finally get some stairs into this cave, so we're not always jumping around to get into it. And with all that, I think this area is done. It may have taken a little bit more time to add in some extra pathing and greenery, but I think that made the biggest impact on this space, so it was definitely worth it. The area to the right of this build is still a little bit bare, but that's because we're going to be adding more builds to it in the near future. But for now, I am so happy with how this is looking. It really feels like things are starting to take shape and come together. So now that we got all of our decorating done, it's time for us to get our mending book. I was able to harvest the sugarcane once while I was building, but it looks like it hasn't really grown back since. If I turn all this sugarcane into paper, I get a total of 68. And if we trade all of this, we get 2 emeralds. So I think the paper trade method isn't entirely as efficient as I thought. But luckily, I have a plan B. I'm gonna chop down a bunch of spruce trees so I can make sticks to trade with a Fletcher back at the village we found. The trade is actually pretty decent, so we should be able to get the emeralds that we need in no time, as long as the villagers don't cause any chaos. That's not a guarantee. Alright, let's head back to this village and get our emeralds once and for all. Alright, villagers, I'm back. So before I left the other day, I did leave a villager in a dirt hut in case we needed another one. And I'm just gonna pretend this wandering trader doesn't exist. Alright, buddy, let's get you a fletching table. And let's start trading up all these sticks. I think he's all traded out at the moment, but that's okay. I can wait. I'm patient. While you're like contemplating this trade, I just need to go do something really quickly. Don't worry about it. Alright, my dude, you ready to do some trading again? Excellent. 28 emeralds. Okay, let's grab a little bit more just in case, but I think we might have enough for our mending book. All right, we're at 44 emeralds. This has been such a good trade. We might have to bring you home with us. Yeah, let's do that. You may have to live in a dirt house for a while, but once we get you your own place, you're gonna love it. Plus, you'll have a friend to socialize with there. All right, buddy, we're home. Please no shenanigans when I break this boat. I beg of you. Come on, go to the table. Oh, perfect. Amazing. Bye, see you soon. So we have 44 emeralds, which I think is pretty good. I'm really happy I went the route of grabbing the Fletcher because it's going to make future trades so much easier. So now that we've got all that, I think I just need maybe one book to get the Mending trade and we should be good. Also got some extra emeralds here and an extra bookshelf. Maybe I should pop this down and turn this into books as well. All right, now we're ready to get our book. You know, sir, it's a little bit expensive. I have seen cheaper, but I'll take it. All right, so we finally got our Mending book for our fortune pick. And with that, I think it's time for us to upgrade it with the anvil. And what shall we name you? Let's go with Daryl. Wow, it's perfect. So let's stash away these emeralds for when we need them next, and probably this book, leather, and paper as well. And I think it's time for us to properly get some use out of this Mending enchantment and fix our pickaxe. I keep forgetting to shear these glowberries so they stop growing down like that. There, that's better. All right, let's go on down, put this in our offhand, and now we wait for skeletons. We're getting there. All right, last one. Yeah. So our diamond pick Daryl is fully healed. But since we're already down here, I say we hang out a little bit longer to get to level 30 so we can enchant something else. I'm thinking maybe my sword would be really handy to enchant. All right, we hit 30, but I think I want to grab a couple more levels in case we don't get the enchantments that we want. 35 should be good. I mean, I hope. Okay, let's get this sword enchanted. Get some lapis on here and... oh. That is the last enchantment that I wanted. All right, what do you say we give that another shot? Really? Why am I having the worst luck here? What is this? All right, last try. Oh, it's not that great. Well, I guess back to the skelly spawner we go. Okay, enchanting table, don't let me down this time. I'll take it. Ooh, okay, we did it. We did it. Although I would have loved to get a second enchantment on their fire aspect, I'm still really happy I was able to at least get sharpness. So not only did we get our enchanted pick set up so it can't break, we also got ourselves another enchanted item. I'm so happy with the progress that we made today. Not only did we upgrade some of our gear, but also our base had some big upgrades as well. Plus, we have 2 new friends living here who are going to help us with so many more things going forward. Alright everyone, I think that's gonna be it for today's episode. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing because it really helps out the channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.